Welcome to Kane's Corner. Is your host Kane is able. So I'm thinking about doing something a little different. I've been doing 3 up, 3 down. It's been going well. It really was Fuss's show. I've kind of taken it over. I'm not that comfortable with the hosting and producing of it, but I've enjoyed doing it. I mean, since PRC's come on, it's kind of stabilized. He's got some good ideas. He's put some ideas forth that we're thinking about in the future, a couple things, and so that's all good. But I'm thinking about doing something for myself. Be quick. I think 15-minute spots, just kind of talking about different topics with the show. See how it goes. But we know now Colin's gone. He quit by his own volition. Obviously that's bullshit. We know that. Colin just was not, he's not happy with Kirk. He's not happy with Justin. I don't think he appreciates how it went down. And Kirk was trying to be the guy who was, who was there saying, I had no blame in this. I had no blame. It's like, are you crazy? For the whole week, you basically ripped him apart. Was it savage? Of course not. But you're constantly saying, I hope you quit. Yeah, I really wish you would just quit. You probably should just, I think, I can't get past that he's lazy and all these things that you constantly said. And, so Coleman lies and said that he had been thinking about this for a couple weeks before or whatever. My contention is if Kirk never says anything, if he just kind of lets it go, doesn't really bring it up, just says he's suspended, he's going to do his time, he's going to move on, that's going to be it. Coleman's back. I mean, I don't think this is even... Ted Sellers thing obviously threw a little wrench in, although I will say Ted was a little dramatic. I mean, I don't agree with leaving him. I wouldn't leave him. I had a disabled brother, so I know what that entails. But it's not like he was left, at a place like, sunburning and he couldn't move, or, he's in a bar. It's not the greatest look, but he could be left at worse places. I'll just say that. But, he's gone. He obviously quit. Supposedly, he obviously didn't quit. He obviously, was fired, in Kirk's kind of way. And then, disingenuous Kirk goes on and says, he can't stand to take any blame for this. I mean, it's really sad. I mean, you clearly don't want to work with him anymore. And guess what? As a fan of the show, if the producer's not living up to what you want him to be, I think it's a great idea for him not to be around. I mean, I don't think Cole ever really fit in. He just didn't love the show. I think the show needs somebody producing that loves it. Justin, I guess, is going to be in the next role here. He's going to be in the main seat. I personally think it's, we haven't seen what Justin can do, really. He's kind of always been the second guy or third guy, and he hasn't had to lead the show. So we're going to find out what he can do. And to me, I don't think it's the greatest pick. I mean, I think Justin's great in the other seat. You know what I mean? I think they need a real strong producer that can just grip it and just go with the show and just take it to the next. And just let Kirk be great. Entice him. Get topics that are gonna engage him, challenge him. Make it a show that gets the best out of Kirk, and that's what's gonna be the best show. If you keep doing shows where everybody's just yes men constantly, you're not gonna get the best out of him. Like, you really got to work hard with this show. Kirk is a smart guy. He's well read. He obviously is articulate. He's able to produce content out of nothing, make people that suck look good. He does it all. He's a naturally talented broadcaster that's the best at what he does. But if he is bored, I think the show suffers. I mean, I don't think that's even really debatable. So I think at that point, it's time to get somebody in there that can really liven up liven Kirk up. I don't know who that would be. I have no idea. It would probably be somebody we don't know. I love Mick. Mick's a good guy. I'm just not sure if he's going to be able to do that as a number one guy. So I guess Justin's going to go into that role, so it's not going to really matter. I think that's a mistake, but I don't think Mick could have done that either. I guess Mick will go, if Mick does get in, he'll be in the number 2 role. So Mick is an interesting kind of side project here. He's been called unreliable. I'm just saying, I don't think Mick's going to have, a lot of these Fridays where Justin's like, get out of here, man, the traffic. And he's going to hit traffic every single day. That'll get old. He's not going to get paid enough, in my opinion, to work down there and live down there. It's just really, it's so expensive in the Watertown area. He's not going to make enough to make it. I wouldn't think, unless he gets a second job. And at that point, now you're really kind of, you're spreading thin. So I don't think he's the greatest fit for this, unless there was a way he could live down there and if he could live with the finances he's making and find a way to live down there and survive, then I think he could do it. It's just that second job piece where he's kind of, he's kind of sickly. He's a sickly guy. I'm a big Mick fan. I think if I thought the number 1 role, I thought about this more. I really have thought about this. I just don't think he's the best fit for that. I think he's better as a number 2 guy, just like what Justin, I think, should be too. And I just think they need a producer that's just balls to the wall, but very hard to find. I find somebody that's going to keep Kirk engaged, and find somebody that's able to do that is not easy. It's not going to be an easy project to do. It really, even Steve Robinson, who was a smart guy, I don't even think he completely was able to do it either. So this should be interesting. I don't know where it'll go. I'm excited for the future. I love the show. I've been on record as saying I love the show. I want it to be the best it can be, though. And when we have people coming unprepared to shows, producers, just not doing projects that are asked of you and kind of just pushing them to the side, it just shows that you just aren't fully invested. You're wasting time doing videos driving up to Portland when you should be working on things that are actually people care about. So nobody gives a fuck about Justin going up to Portland and walking around trying to get answers that we knew he was never going to get. It's such a waste of fucking time. It's still waste time. I get it. I understand the idea of it, but you should be a little more, advanced about it. Why don't you set something up so Minifans all can go and set up a rally for everybody, or do something to that, something more creative. Going up there and just walking around and trying to get answers it's not good. To me, it's just lazy. It's just an easy way out. And I don't want to, just like good guys, he obviously works hard for the show, loves the show. But it is kind of the easy way out. And if you're going to go that route, fuck it. Who cares? And nobody's going to care about the show the same, because if we're going to just take those shortcuts and everything, you're not going to get the best out of this show. I know it's been going on for a while, but we want the best it can be. As a fan, from my point of view, it needs to be the greatest it can be. This is what the only real podcast that I listen to every single episode. I have other podcasts that I like, kind of a true crime guy. So I got my podcast that I listen to, but for the most part, it's this guy that I love to listen to this show. So, I'm hoping the future is bright. I'm hoping for, to have a show that is every day is, you don't know what's going to happen and where it's going to go. And I'm hoping that does happen. It's still a great podcast. It's been great. But it needs a little bit of a little adrenaline boost, just something to get it going again, I want people to be not happy when they're working. I want people to feel challenged. I don't want people to just kind of come in and, just like kind of what Coleman was doing, just fucking around. It's just a job, And, he was a pussy. He really just bowed down. He lied to Kirk. He should have told him the truth. I didn't like what you were doing. I thought it was ridiculous, but he really had no way to stand on it. He was still complaining about not being woken up. What the fuck, man? He even said when he goes home, hopefully his mom will wake him up still. Or it's like, you're 20. I mean, I think we all know the story. When you're that age, at that point, I always had kids. I couldn't imagine somebody waking me up. I mean, I know youth is maybe a little different these days. Kids are growing up being a little older, living at home a lot longer, older at home. So it does create that. I mean, I was gone at 18, so I don't know. And I've never looked back. So it was a different time, though. If it was now, I'm not sure I even could afford it. So, I think that's kind of pretty much it on Coleman. I think he'll be, I don't know what the future holds. I really think, I almost agree that he just needs to go get a real job. He's not, I shouldn't say he's not built for this. I think if he found the right show, I think he could be a really good producer. I just think you gotta take accountability. I mean, I work in the chefing business, culinary arts, and we always say the same things about chefs and sous chefs. What's the difference? People ask me, what's the difference with the different sous chefs? And the bottom line is a chef just takes all the accountability. That's what changes things. When you take on the operation and you say, this is mine and my name's on this, that changes everything, right? So that makes accountability, hopefully will force great work ethic, but not always. He's the main producer of the show. I don't really feel like he ever thought he was that. But Kirk also didn't make it didn't really say that he was Justin's boss either, really. And that's, again, this is where Kirk fails as a leader. It's like you have to draw the lines. There has to be somebody accountable to your demands or your expectations. And it has to be that lead guy. That guy has to take all the accountability and dish out the rest. And it just never worked out for Coleman. It was an unfortunate situation. For him, moving down here, still has his lease, but he can just go back home because his family's rich. So lucky for him. I would never have quit. I can promise you that. Just the idea that you think you're going to push me out like that. That's how I'm built. I've taken on, when people have challenged me, I've taken on those challenges. So I'm not really sure how to just bow down like that and just leave and then lie about it. I mean, I definitely would have told him the truth. I definitely would have called you. I wouldn't have texted you. So, so that's about it for him. I guess the other topic I kind of wanted to get into is just that whole sneaker situation. It's very disappointing to realize that you may have doxed somebody or doxed somebody's kids, or at the end of the day, all I did really was repost. What I did was repost him in a banana outfit. So, did I know that guy was doxing kids? I had no idea. These fucking retards, morons in the fucking troll chats and these other places think that everybody knows everything that's going on. I haven't watched any of your content that you do, the Fonz tournament. I slipped in one day a couple times and I don't even know what's going on. So I don't follow any of those other guys. I have no idea what they do. All I care about is the show. I don't care about your fucking bullshit little drama that goes on the side. That being said, I mean, this Jack Williams is a piece of shit. I mean, he really is. But I'm going to say this because I feel bad saying this. I don't want to say this. But at the end of the day, Sneaks, today I saw you posting something of his kids. Now, I get the sentiment, like, hey, we're gonna go back and forth. He does to me, I did to you. But in the end, Sneaks, aren't you upset isn't the big problem that they're doxing your children? So when you do it to him, first of all, they're not even his kids, supposedly, right? They're stepkids. So you're doing the same thing to kids. It's the same thing. I mean, another one who's disingenuous on this. You want to fight over it, but you're doing the same thing back. I don't get it. The kids are always going to be the innocent one. Why would you fucking do that? I don't even understand that. So if you're that passionate about it, which you should be, somebody's doing that to your family, somebody's doing that to my family, I would care about that too. But you're so passionate about it, and then the next day, or no, I saw it today, it's July 30th, Tuesday, I saw you post something about his kids and then kind of laugh about it. So, like, is it a joke? Is it not a joke? Are you serious? Are you not serious? Like, what is it? You know, and I fucking BA too, you know, you kind of, he does this to me a lot, and it's okay. It is what it is. I go on, he catches me in these little spots. For some reason, this guy rattles me. I don't know why it is. He rattles me, but you bring it up. You know, I think in his head, when I talked to him before the show, he did not believe me. I could tell. It's like, is it really that hard to believe that I didn't know this guy was doxing his kids? I don't think it's that. I mean, I'm a dummy. Like, I don't go in and I don't follow this stuff. It's not that hard to understand. I just don't pay attention to it. I kind of concentrate just on the show stuff. I care about the people in the show. Sneakers, I think about what he does with the show. I don't follow what you guys do behind the scenes. So they had added me to that troll chat. Obviously, everybody in there knew about it. I had no clue. But then again, he's doing the same thing. So it's kind of a sticky situation for him. You know, you can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. So I think he needs to kind of look inward. If you're not gonna, you know, I'm all with you. Anybody that's doing this, I want nothing to do with them. But at the same time, if you're doing it, you know, people are gonna look at you the same way. I mean, I don't know. You can't have it both ways, Snakes. Of course, I'll support anything, you know, against this piece of shit. He's a scumbag. Jack Williams is a bad guy. I will say that. I can, you know, anybody that's doing that to somebody's kid's a bad guy. So, you know, everybody's listening. Don't associate with this guy. He's not good. But you can't do the same thing, Snakes, and think that people aren't going to say something to you. So, that's about it. Looking forward to the show the rest of the week. It should be interesting to see how this all develops. You know, I'm still 3 up, 3 down is one of those shows that we're going to keep working on, but, you know, it may go every other week. We might want to mix in different things, maybe some specialty kind of shows. I mean, it's just a show that, like, it's hard every week to find just to rip on people, you know. I mean, I guess I could go to the well and just rip on Mikey Grab Bags a few more times, but I don't want to keep doing that. It's just not real. I think you kind of almost need 2 weeks to kind of let things a little bit develop, maybe even longer at times, you know. So, well, we'll see. I'll run it through him, Manners, see how it goes. See what he says, see what the boss says. You know, Manners has been great. Just a, you know, a little network update. You know, there's some people that just, I've been saying, I'm always wondering, like, where's Steve Snell been? You know, he writes this crazy tweet the other day about, like, Coleman was supposed to be, you know, Kirk said on the show that Coleman was going to be, you know, at his becking hand, and Coleman, like, denied him. And it's like, good for you, Coleman. Fucking Snell. Why would Coleman be at your beck and will, Snell? Doesn't make any sense. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And Coleman, great job. You don't owe them anything. Even if Kirk says it, you just blow them off. I would too. And Snell, like, you act like, you know, you haven't put out a piece of fucking content in months. Like, who the fuck are you to even, like, I'm going to hold that when I go to the show, like, rip them for it. You haven't done anything. So I'm not really sure why, you know, he's trying to produce a fucking show. I don't want him at your fucking beck and call, asshole. You know what I mean? I want him working on the show. You're so fucking selfish, man. Holy shit. So, you know, we're going to, you know, it's just another guy that's kind of, you know, a little something that came about. But Matt is doing a great job. Thank you for all the help. He's very insightful, great content creator, funny. Just a great CEO, you know, a guy that, you know, could definitely be an A producer, you know, just a bulldog in there, you know, he could do it. So I'm going to wrap it up. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what else I'm going to do with this. I may bring some people on, you know, maybe different people from people I grew up with and different things like that. I'm thinking about seeing, you know, maybe some different little conversations I'd like to have. But for now, you know, obviously my main focus is the show. I love the show. Stick to that. Stick to just, you know, 20-minute pops here or there. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's a little test run. I hope you liked it. Have a good one.